What's up, movie people? I hope you're all doing well. This is going to be my review of the newest Marvel movie, Thunderbolts. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the plot of Thunderbolts follows an unconventional team of anti-heroes Yelena, Bucky Barnes, Red Guardian, Ghost, Taskmaster, and John Walker who embark on a dangerous mission that forces them to confront the darkest corners of their past. And okay, y'all, I am so happy. I just got back from the earlier screening of seeing this in IMAX 3D. I'm not even kidding. I booked another ticket to go see this again tonight because I've been having, a Marvel relationship, like a love-hate relationship with this franchise the last couple years. But I truly think that with Thunderbolts, we are really back to form. Going forward, at least with the movies, I think we're in a great space because I love this movie. I can't even wait to go see it again. I think it's going to be so rewatchable. And after this, we have Fantastic Four, which I'm getting more and more pumped with the more footage I see. I mean, the teaser trailer was great for Fantastic Four, but the newest trailer that dropped, a couple weeks ago, that had me ecstatic. I am so excited to see that, especially from someone who loves like high science fiction stuff. And then after that, we got the Avengers movies, which I know some people are worried about because, the Russo brothers are coming back. They haven't directed some great movies, outside the MCU, like Cherry's not great, Electric State's not great. I liked the Ryan Gosling movie, but, I know some people don't like that. But I don't think people should be worrying that much because they proved themselves in Marvel, with the Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. I'm not trying to jinx this here, but I think this is seriously the first time since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that I felt like I watched a real movie here, and I feel like we're just so back. This is not like a CGI mess, and the story is actually really great here. It's not all over the place like the last Marvel movie, Captain America Brave New World. This just feels like such a great return to form for Marvel, and I cannot wait to go see this again later tonight. I hope you all booked your tickets because this movie is not one that you want to miss. Most of this praise should go to Jake Schreier, who actually directed this movie, and he previously directed most of the Beef episodes. I don't think he directed all of them. I think he directed like 6, maybe 7 of them, but that was one of my favorite shows from 2023. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's such a fantastic show, and this is what Kevin Feige should really do more of. Get directors that can be trusted into making a great movie. I know on Twitter, we always crapped on him for getting like directors and writers from like Rick and Morty, some other crap movies. I don't know why he got those directors for previously directed like really bad movies. He just needs to get people that he trusts. That's why he went and got back, the Russo brothers for the new Avengers movies, because he trusts them with Marvel movies. And I think that Jake here seriously brought some new sauce to the Marvel universe that we haven't seen before. And it truly ended up feeling like an MCU movie from like phase 3. I know this isn't from phase 3, but I think it kind of felt like Avengers Age of Ultron, which is a Marvel movie that I love more and more on rewatches. But phase 3 is when Marvel is firing on all cylinders. I think this movie fires and delivers on everything I really wanted to. It's so impressive that him and the writers, Eric Pearson and Joanna Gallo, made a movie with, let's just say, B and C list heroes and anti-heroes, that by the end of the movie, they kind of turn into fan favorites and a team that we can't wait to see again. I also thought that the script was very mature and it leaned into some very dark themes discussing, mental health, depression, and the feeling of being alone in the world. And that makes sense, as one of the writers of this movie also wrote, a decent amount of episodes for BoJack Horseman. If you don't know about BoJack Horseman, it's a pretty, emotional show about mental health and all that. Some people don't like it when movies, have a big message behind them, have big themes like this, because they're like, oh, I don't want to walk out, mopey about the movie. But I think it really works with Thunderbolts. I love when Marvel goes mature, and I like it when it works a lot. And that's another reason why I love this movie. It goes mature and it works, and it doesn't really end you on a sour note. It ends on a pretty happy note, and that's what we kind of wanted here. Before we get to the characters, let's talk about the action, which is really well done here. It's choreographed so well because it felt more fine-tuned and grounded, like something from like Captain America: The Winter Soldier, something from, as I said, Age of Ultron, Civil War. It's really grounded with its action. It's a lot of close quarter stunts that feel real. I mean, if you looked online, you saw Florence Pugh. She actually jumped off that second highest building of all time. So yeah, there's a lot of real stunts here, and that's kind of the first half is close quarter stuff. And then when Sentry comes in, it's not a spoiler. We already knew that Sentry was in this movie. It does get more grand with the action, but it still doesn't rely on heavy CGI to get the job done, which is something that I'm always a huge fan of. With my hope for the next Avengers movie, I worry about the CGI work because they're going to make a fast turnaround with that movie, but hopefully the Russo brothers don't make it all, too much CGI work, because I don't want to look at an ugly movie like Brave New World. Some of my favorite action sequences in the movie from the trailers, not going to give any spoilers away. The bunker scene in the trailers, it gets added to a lot. There's some very funny stuff that happens there. The Red Guardian chase that opens up in one of the trailers when Bucky comes around. That's a great scene here. And then when they're fighting Sentry / the Void, that is such a great scene. Oh my god, probably one of my favorite fight scenes in a Marvel movie. I love that scene of just Sentry going all out, and it just really felt great to see some grounded action again in the MCU. Now to talk about our characters, of course, Florence Pugh, she's the standout of this movie. It kind of feels like her own movie here. As I said, it starts with her, jumping off that building. It discusses more about how she's doing in this world after, the death of her sister from Endgame. I thought Florence Pugh, man, she's so good. Does such a great job emotionally. She's been great in Dune, Oppenheimer, We Live in Time. She was great emotionally in that movie. Cannot wait to see her in Dune Messiah coming up. But Yelena is simply becoming one of my favorites from this new phase of Marvel movies. She's so badass. She's, pulling some great Black Widow takedown moves. I love when she just, her and how Scarlett Johansson do their fights. They just jump on people and bring them down with like all their body weight, how their legs are just wrapped around their heads. It's so cool. Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes. He's not in this too much, but when he does get a chance to shine, he really is pretty cool. We had David Harbour coming back as Alexei. I love this character. David Harbour's so funny here. Then we had Hannah John Kamen, who plays Ghost here. And, let me get this straight. I really did not like Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought it was kind of a trashy villain. But here, she's upgraded. I do like her more after this movie. And her costume is so much better in this movie compared to her costume in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So she does pretty good. And then we had Taskmaster, which, Taskmaster, we don't need to talk about Taskmaster. There's not much to talk about there. And then we had Wyatt Russell as John Walker, who's my second favorite character in this movie, just below Florence Pugh's Yelena. I love John Walker. He's so cool, man. He's so funny. Wyatt Russell is as a great actor, a great nepo baby, let's say. But John Walker is such a, interesting character that, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he had a tough time there. It gets, we get to see more about his tough times as a character after he, killed that person, as he was kind of the fake Captain America. And he developed so much as a character here. The development of these characters is so amazing in this movie. Do you want to spend a quick second talking about the post-credit scenes? No spoilers, of course. There's two of them. One is a mid-credit scene, which is kind of just a gag, and I found it really funny. It doesn't hurt to see it. And then the last one, all the way at the end of the credits, is like the longest post-credit scene Marvel's ever done. And let me say, you got to stick around for that. It is so good. You get to see some very cool things there, and it introduces something that we've been waiting for a while. And let me just say, it is so good. Before we get to my final rating of the movie, I will say that Son Lux, who composed the score for this movie, did an incredible job. They previously worked on Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie had an incredible score, and this score is so good it might be in like my top 5 scores for the MCU movie. I kept getting that feeling when you're listening to a score and you're like, oh, that's going to be a classic. I know what that score is. I can't wait to listen to it outside the movie. It kind of, had the same feeling of when I felt like, listening to the OG Avengers theme for the first time, the Guardians theme. It sounded very good. I love the theme in this movie, and I love the score overall. Overall, I absolutely love Thunderbolts, and it's a true return to form for Marvel, and the future is bright with Fantastic Four on the horizon. It's smartly directed and actually makes you feel something while it discusses some deep and mature themes. It's hard to take a team of B-list heroes and anti-heroes and turn them into characters that we'll care about, but Drake Schreier delivered in more ways than one, because I think that all of them will be fan favorites after you see this movie, and I think that this is a must-see Marvel movie, and it's actually great, and I cannot wait to see these characters again in Avengers Doomsday. On first watch, and I'm going to go watch this again tonight, I'm going to give Thunderbolts a strong 8.5 out of 10. If you did see the newest Marvel movie, Thunderbolts, leave your own thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to discuss this one with you guys. If you enjoyed my review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.